Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Indy Investor Pod. I am ready to dig deep into some iron stuff here with Brett Snodgrass. Brett, man, I always enjoy having you on here. And I'll tell you what, man, I wasn't like just in my head. I want to tell you this. So I'm at CG Select this week. We've been in CG Premier for the last 6 years and I'm at CG Select this week. And it's been so crazy because they actually have had people come up to me and it's like, oh my gosh, you're Brian Snyder from Simple Wholesale. And I used to listen to you guys all the time and stuff. So we haven't heard that from a while, like being in Indianapolis and stuff. People are used to us now and things, but being
Yeah,
around
man.
some different people and stuff, it took me back to those days where you and I used to do the podcast, like we'd sit in a room and do like knock out like 4 episodes in a day and stuff like that.
Mm.
But man,
Those
so
were
yeah.
those were the good old days. They're still good old days, but
Yeah.
I get to make appearance on here at the Indy Investor Pod. Super excited, man. Super excited at your leadership. I mean, you're not only leading Simple Wholesaling, but you're also doing some consulting, coaching, leading CG Select in one of the rooms there now, and it's awesome, man. You're implementing systems and processes in other businesses, and it's just so far like literally 4.5 years ago where we were at, and now here we go.
I think it's about 4.5 years ago, and I was Brett. I was like, wait, what do you do? What's wholesaling? What's
Yeah.
this? So it's been a big change, but no, man, excited to have you on here. I think as just as you mentioned that I see a lot of that. So I'm working, I'm working with in our business, and I see our flaws and things we need to improve on. I'm seeing a lot of other things with indie investors too, and just like little things they can tweak here or there to help themselves out. How do you get this next property? How do you buy it better? How do you make a connection with the property manager? All those little things. But we all know as business leaders, whether big business, small business, no matter what it is, just as a person in general, I think one of the most important things is getting your brain right, getting your
Mm,
mind right, getting your heart right, and doing that for yourself, for your
mm.
family, for your business, for your investors, for your tenants, all those things, man. So I'm really excited. I want to do this episode with you because you are starting I don't know if you call it a mastermind or community or just what you're doing, man. I'm really excited to just have you on here and talk about what you're doing with your new project, Iron Deep. I know you have an event coming up here in September, and you're going to do some other stuff with that. You got a lot of content coming out and things, man. But let's just start with that about what is Iron Deep, and like where did you come up with this, and like why do you think this is important for business leaders out there?
Yeah. No, thanks for Brian. Thanks for having me on. It's excited just to chat with you again. But yeah, so if you guys know a little bit about our story, listen to a past episode. I stepped out of the business about 2 years ago and getting ready to celebrate our 2-year anniversary. Brian taking over as CEO. And honestly, for the last 2 years, I've been reflecting. I think, and I haven't done that in a long time. It's been years since I really took a step back and reflected on, what is my purpose in life? What's God calling me to? And what do I want to do for the next few decades of my life that I feel like can be extremely impactful? And this is where Iron Deep came about. So I'm in the business world, so I'm surrounded by business people and mostly businessmen, honestly. So I have a passion for entrepreneurial men. So that's kind of the one aspect of Iron Deep, and we're starting a community. So you call it it's a mastermind community, and it's going to be all men. Why is it all men? I've already had that question. Women have asked me, "Hey, why are you leaving us out? Why are you doing all men?" And the answer really is that I wanted to create an environment that men can be open, they can be a little bit real. And so I wanted that type of brotherhood environment that we can just be our true selves, honestly. So you don't have to come in with a mask on. You don't have to pound your chest and do your highlight reel in front of everybody. But let's just come in and we can't grow if we're not real. So number one, Iron Deep, it's all men. And it's the foundation is going to be men that want a little bit more intimacy with God. So has a faith foundation. Do you have to be perfect and have your faith all together and be all in and doing everything right? And no, I mean, none of us are doing any of that. We're all broken men, but just that heart desire to say, hey, I want to deepen my faith. I want to deepen my relationship with God. That's who we're looking for. So men who want to deepen their relationship with God, also business owners. So again, I love business, entrepreneurial type of men. So these are all business owners or business leaders. So they're either own a business or they're a high-end professional CEO, COO. And I wanted to create an environment that men are going through the similar seasons of life. So the ages for this group is between 32 and 57 years old. And again, people have asked me, why did you choose those ages? And honestly, I wanted to just surround myself and create an environment of businessmen that want to deepen their faith, that are walking through a similar seasons of life. So we've talked about niching it down, and I've tried to do that. So
Yeah,
there
no, I
it
think it's
is.
good. I think, we've been talking about this and stuff like that. I think, one of the things you said it best. It's like, well, I'm a man and, my early 40s, I fit, that's your category. That's what you can
Right.
speak to, what everybody's going through and things like that. And obviously through this, there'll be some other things that we can, we'll have some other connections and stuff like that. You'll be able to be like, hey, I know this isn't for you, but here's a referral for you. Here's what's going on and stuff like
Exactly.
that. So no, I think it's awesome. You're gonna be able to speak to your heart and what's true to you, and with a group of people that are very similar to you. And I think that makes a big difference. I know I've been in small groups before where we've had age ranges all over the place and stuff like that, and that's been great. And I've taken some things away, but it's really when you have kind of that close knit to who you are, that's where a lot of changes can happen. And like you said too, it's that being open and being vulnerable. That's when that happens as well and stuff. So
Yeah.
with the women thing, you don't want to make it like a an announcement on here that Karen Snodgrass is going to come out with Iron Deep for women or anything right now.
Yeah, no, no. I mean, is there a vision with that? Do I think that there's a woman out there that if there's a woman listening to this, could that be something in the future where a woman takes a hold of the process and the structure that we're doing and creates that for women? Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be diamond deep. So there you go, Brian.
There you go.
There's the
Awesome. Love it. Love it. So no, I know that's part of your heart too, as well. Not to exclude anybody, but like, how do you can't, maybe you don't feel comfortable speaking to that, or that's not your repertoire. So yeah, we'll figure that out later and stuff, but
yeah.
Awesome, man. So yes, for those people that they fit in that category of, hey, I'm a business leader. I'm in between I'm in my late 30s, early 40s, things like that. They are, they're maybe struggling with their faith, or just they've lost their way a little bit or anything like that. Like, what's this event all about? What's going to happen? Like, what can they expect? And like, why should people just get excited about this? I know I'm super excited about it. I'm going out to the event thing, so I know I'm really excited about it. What can other people do to get excited about it?
Yeah. So number one, if you want to check us out, go to irondeep.com. Our website just got launched last week. Check it out. And that you'll read more about it. And how we're going to do this is, again, we're creating a brotherhood type of community, but our very first event, kind of our launching event, is this Men's Awakening retreat. This is going to be in Utah. It's about 8,000 feet elevation. So you got the mountains in the background, you got the Rockies there. We've rented out a 26,000 square foot log cabin. It's supposed to be the largest log cabin in the world. Wow. And it's going to be capped at 30 men. So this isn't we're not bringing in 150, 200 men. It's going to be capped at 30 men. And the spots are limited. That's how many beds that we have. And so we're all going to come out. We're all going to be sleeping under the same roof at this event. It's September the 25th through the 28th of this year, 2022. And this event's really going back to our roots and our foundation. And what I've seen and what I've felt, even experienced in my own life, is that we wrap our identity into some sort of exterior whatever's going on in your life. Most of the time, as business owners, business leaders, it's our career. So we have this career. When things are going well, we feel on top of the world and we feel amazing and we feel invincible. But when things aren't going well, we feel miserable. We feel depressed. And when we're not doing that anymore, now we don't even know who we are, and we flounder in life. And I've experienced that in my own walk. So this event is kind of getting back to our roots, getting back to our identity, and not who the world says that you are, but who God says that you are. So it's a lot about identity at this particular event. And it's a lot about purpose, and it's a lot about legacy. And there's going to be a lot of different things, right? So this isn't we're going to rent out a hotel block and be in a conference room. Again, we're in the mountains. We're going to be under the same roof. It's going to be beautiful. There's going to be some worship. There's going to be a lot of fellowship with other men. There's going to be breaking bread together. There are going to be some talks and some teachings. There's going to be some solitude. So that makes people feel uncomfortable right away.
Yeah.
But it's all going to be surrounded by God's creation, and it's going to be a 3-day awakening type of event. And again, this is just getting to know us to getting to know you. And then after that event, if it's a good fit, we'll invite you into our community, and we'll be doing more of this mastermind coming in the next year of men walking through the same season of life and having the same heart posture.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Brett, because I know this is like one of your big drivers and things. You want to be this person, create this atmosphere and create this community for, business leaders and things like that. If you were able to have something like this when you started, when you were sitting in the CEO role and you were leading your business and things like that, what difference do you think that would have made in you? Like how great would that have been to have that type of community to go to and just have that vulnerability and along with faith and everything as well?
Yeah. I mean, I think it would have been huge, honestly. I think it would have helped me just with some of the challenges that I was having. I started to look around, and even though business was great, I started to question how many real true friends did I have. And I think that's even a struggle for men in general, especially for business type of men, because we always have to have it all together. And sometimes we feel like we're on this island. It's a little bit lonely. So for us to be able to come to a room and take off that mask and be true and say, you know what, this is really what I'm struggling with, and having other guys really be in your corner and really rooting for you and really trying to sharpen you and wanting you to have the best life, not only the best business, but the best life as well. I think it would have been huge. And I would have had people that I could call that are going through the similar things in my life. And I can, sharpen, and we can sharpen each other and lean on each other in this life. So I believe communities, Brian, even know this, communities are huge, and we've been a part of some great communities that have really helped out our businesses. And I've been a part of certain things that have helped out just my personal self, my personal faith, my personal growth. So I'm kind of taking the mastermind, the business people, and some of the faith, the deepening, the vulnerability relationships, and kind of putting those together. Again, like-minded men going through the same walks of life. We get each other, which is hard to find at your local church. Even, do churches have small groups? Do they have this sort of thing? Yes. Is there business masterminds out there? Is there stuff that can grow your business? Yes. But to put those two things together, I think is a little bit unique, and to do it kind of unplugged away in an amazing environment, I think is unique as well. So
yeah, so that's awesome. And then my question by any means did not mean to like discount anything we've been a part of or anything we've done or anything like that. But there's always been that little piece of like, oh man, maybe I'll hold back a little bit from my faith, where I don't know if I can share this because I don't know how this will be received. Or I want to speak to everybody, not just in here, but and I think one of the questions that I know I'm always asked, and you've been asked too, of like, can you lead a business based on your faith? Or can you have a Christian company and things like that? And I 100% say, yeah, we do it every day. I mean, I watched you grow a business and do that. And I try to do my best in that business as well, is continue with that. And I think a lot of people maybe miss that, or there's a disconnect within that and stuff. So what do you say to business leaders that maybe are struggling with that, of like, I have this business, I know I need to make my money, but I want to pray with my people, and I want to have my faith in my business as well. And there is a struggle with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I still struggle with it sometimes, even to this day. But when I take a step back, when I know who I am and who God's created me to be and how God's designed me, He's designed me as a creator, as a business person. And I have to lead with my faith, because if I didn't, then I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's not my true self. All right. So for me, like, that's who I am. And I try to root myself in who God says that I am. And I have to lead with that, but it is hard because the world is constantly sending you messages, constantly sending you lies, constantly telling you, you can't do this, you can't say that, you can't lead that way anymore. It's not acceptable. So for us to get together, and that's why community is huge, to get together, to sharpen each other, because that is what we're going against every single day. And it's getting harder and harder and harder. So again, creating a community like this to help each other, to encourage each other, to lift each other up, because the world's not doing that. And so I think that's why this is even more important today.
Yeah. Man, I think you hit the nail on the head there with what you said kind of towards the beginning of that, of just like you need to lead your business to be your true self. Like you need to be when you're leading your business, you need to be yourself. You can't be somebody else. I can't try to be Eric Brewer within our real estate business, or, anything like that, or Jason Medley leading a mastermind. You get to be yourself. You got to do it who you want to do, who you want to be. And I think it's a big thing. I think that's a lot of leaders miss that. And if you are that person out there that, your faith means so much to you and you want to run your business like that, being able to be around other people and have that conversation and be able to be in a community with people that are struggling with that and wanting to do that and stuff too. But I mean, I see so many business leaders out there that they're trying to be somebody else or trying to be who they think their business needs them to be or anything like that. And they end up coming up a little bit short. And if anybody that's heard me speak before too, they know that I'm huge behind like core values and culture and everything like that. I think that stuff is so important. But it's because it's who the business needs to be and who you are. And if you have the right people that fit that culture, that fit those core values, your business is going to do so much better. One of those core values for you being your faith and wanting to lead that way and stuff. So, man, I think it's incredible. I think it's awesome, man. So go ahead. I think you're going to say something.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And we're working kind of on that. It's not just a business, but it's the community now. So even to get into Iron Deep, it's kind of a slower process. It's because we want to walk with the right people. And that's why we're having this retreat too. At first, because most masterminds, most types of communities like this, I have an interview with Brian Snyder. Oh, you seem like a good fit. Let's try it out. And you sign up, you come to the mastermind and that. So, but this is more like, hey, let's get this checked out first. Let's come to this retreat. So you can kind of see a little bit of our foundation and a little bit of what we're all about. And then you can see, is this for you or is it not? Because I don't think this is going to be for everybody. Because again, we're going a little bit deeper, which is a little bit uncomfortable for people, especially for men and businessmen,
especially for guys like me.
Yeah. And it's just hard because again, we're business owners coming in and we're typically the guy up front, we're the guy speaking, we're the man that everyone wants to talk to, they want to pick your brain, they want to have coffee with you. And then to get up there and to be a little bit more vulnerable, to say, you know what, I'm struggling with this, and can anybody help me with this? And to just be true about it. And that's the type of environment that I want. And honestly, I just wanted to create it maybe a little bit selfishly for myself so that I could have that type of environment, honestly. So I'm inviting guys that I think are just awesome. I want to walk with. And so maybe a little bit selfishly, I said, I need this, and I couldn't exactly find what I was looking for. So we'll just create it.
It's funny. Brett just wants to hang out with a bunch of dudes in the woods, talking about faith and business, and that's it.
Right.
So
honestly, if you look at my personality, it's like because kind of like the Enneagram model, like I love adventure and change and different things, but I also love to achieve. So if I can impact people but doing it in an adventure way, and it's all me, man.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. My coach Eddie Wilson one time asked me this question. He said, "Brian, what's your biggest fear?" And he's used to people saying like, "Oh, flying or heights or roller, things like that." And I was like, honestly, my biggest fear is like being put in the middle of a room and being asked to talk about my feelings in front of a group of people. And he kind of laughed about it. He's like, "I feel like that's what Brett wants to do with you all the time." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is." I was like, "I just want to talk about business and pushing the needle and stuff." But you challenge me to focus on. You're always asking me like, "Hey, how's life going? How's your marriage going? How's that going? How's your faith going?" And things like that, man. I really appreciate that about you. So it's cool that you're putting together this, this event and then this community to challenge other people with that as well.
Yeah. And I think it's cool because you challenge me too, because maybe I challenge you. It's sharing a little bit deeper, thinking about life a little bit more, and what's really important, but you challenge me, and that's why we're all come from kind of different perspectives. And you challenge me is like, you know what, because I lead sometimes with my emotions, and sometimes I got to take those and put those aside. You're like, okay, you bet, but we're running a business here too.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Brett, we're
Like
not
you
a small
view
group
that.
right now. We're a business.
Yeah.
No, but that's it. I mean, that's what this is all about. That's what this, this event is going to lead into. But that's your heart behind this community that you are developing with Iron Deep is people that can challenge each other. They can complement each other as, if somebody is more this than that, then you have somebody else in that group that can kind of challenge them with that and push them with that. And that's what these things are all about. And man, I'm super excited for you. And, I'm excited to be a part of this first event and everything, and helping you out in any way with this and stuff. But what for anybody that is interested, wants to learn more information, what's some of the things that they should be doing first? Like going to your YouTube page and watch some of the videos, just figure out more about it. Listen to this podcast multiple times and download it and share it and things.
Yeah. Well, it's really cool because I love creating content, number one. And so even if I didn't make money from any of this, I just love doing it. I love teaching and impacting people's lives. So yeah, you obviously can go to irondeep.com. That's our website. So maybe start off there. Here's the process. You go to Iron Deep. If you're interested, you can apply. So we got the apply application on there, right there. You fill it out online, and then I'll reach out to you once you fill out the application. We'll have a conversation, see if it's a right fit. The next step is, if it is, then you come to the retreat in September, see who we are, we see who you are. And then after that, we would possibly invite you into the community. So that's the process. So apply, retreat, become a member is the process. And we also have the YouTube channel. So go over the Iron Deep YouTube channel, and we're coming out with content that kind of relates to, again, this message. I came out with a video last week, really, that was about the Mexican fisherman, the parable about the Mexican fisherman, and just how I related to that. So every 2 or 3 weeks, we're coming out with new content. We're coming out with one. Yeah, this week it'll already be out. And so we're doing some fun stuff too with it. So our YouTube channel, there'll be some serious stuff, impactful stuff, but I like to have fun too. So there'll be some funny.
Yeah, you can't stay serious all the time.
That's right. So go over to that. And you can also check out the Brett Snodgrass podcast, which I'm still running that. And again, I'm talking and just talking to men just on this similar topic about identity, about purpose, about legacy, and about faith. So either one of those, podcast, irondeep.com, YouTube channel, are the best places.
Awesome. So, and then just to relate this back to why are we talking about this on the Indy Investor Pod, and how does relate? This all relates. It goes back to kind of what we were talking about at the beginning of, I think this is obviously we want to support Brett. So we're going to feature him on what we're doing, what we're talking about, because I'm excited about this next step and things too. But no matter what you're doing, whether the faith piece speaks to you or not, or whether anything that Brett or I said to you, it speaks to you or not, it's all about, no matter what you're doing within your business, within your investing, within Indianapolis investing, whatever it is make sure your mind and heart is right with what you want to do, what your vision is, what your core values are, and then go after that and give yourself a community, put yourself in a community with people that can relate to you, that can challenge you, that can push you to achieve those goals, no matter what they may be. So if you're trying to get to 10 rental properties this year, put yourself in a room with somebody that has 20 rental properties right now. We're just picked up 5 rental properties last year and is doing pretty well with it, gaining momentum, and put yourself around those people and let them challenge you and stuff like that too. But also put yourself in the right people that can speak to you with where your mind is, with where your heart is, and can challenge you a little bit on that as well, because that's important. It's just as important as business as that bottom line of having a leader, having a business owner that has their brain right. So Brett, any last thoughts on that or anything else before we jump off here today?
Yeah, I think why we're having this again on the Indy Investor Pod is, I think, because we care about you, whoever's listening to this. We care about you as a person. We care about your business. But if you're a successful business, but you get divorced next year and your kids don't know you and you don't know your purpose or meaning in life, then I don't think we've totally done our job. So I think we're sharing this again just because we care about you as an individual to grow in all of these areas of your life. And that's what we're doing here at Iron Deep. So we're growing our business, we're growing our families, we're growing our faith, and we're growing as leaders. So you're not just leading your business, you're leading a lot of things as business leaders and business owners. You're leading a lot of things in your life, and we want you to scale every area of your life, not just your business. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Love it. Appreciate you. Appreciate everything you're doing. And yeah, that's a wrap for this episode of the Indy Investor Pod. And we will see you guys next time. Take care.